on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
Slavery is an evil practice abolished all over the world over 200 years ago. But today, human traffickers are selling human beings as slaves in Africa. It is your responsibility to make sure that you and the people you know do not fall into slavery. Don't believe fake promises of jobs abroad.
People went to say Libya, Italy no use you when they carry me on top water. 4 days now they lock me for inside house, no food, no water. I nearly die. Now God, when me heaven and earth, now save me. If you get 1 naira for Nigeria, you get junior one, you say you no get papa, you no get mama, that make you come out. I beg go they do farm work. You better pass person when enter road.
Don't accept.
Hello. The insatiable needs of man necessitated his movements from one place to another. And one major means of undertaking such movements is by flying in an aeroplane, which is said to be the safest means of transportation. Let's talk aviation tonight. Good evening and welcome to the program. This is Weekend File. Civil aviation remains a critical element in Nigeria's transportation system and by extension the economy. Investigation reveals that in recent years, Nigeria's aviation industry has attracted 22 foreign carriers and presently in bilateral air services agreements with over 78 countries. The rise in both domestic and overseas passenger traffic is said to be at an average of 10% per annum, with Murtala Mohammed International Airport as the main gateway responsible for over 60% of total aircraft movements in Nigeria. This consistent rise has no doubt triggered a thriving service industry, but aviation observers have criticized the sector for its inability to earn sufficient returns, which led to the loss of over $2 billion investment from international financiers between 2017 and 2018. Tonight, we will examine the aviation industry, its infrastructure, administrative methodology, interagency operational relationships, and handling of passengers at the various airports in the country. Thanks for tuning in as the program begins right now with the news segment. 5 legacy projects executed by Governor Ibukunle Amosun of Ogun State have been inaugurated by President Muhammadu Buhari in Abuja, the state capital. The president described the projects in various economic sectors as special farewell gift by the outgoing governor to the people of the Gateway State. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo was there for NTA News.
In a matter of days, Governor Ibukunle Amosun's second-term tenure of office will be expiring, and therefore a highly fulfilling honor for him that President Muhammadu Buhari arrived at Gateway State to inaugurate legacy projects executed as part of his mission to rebuild agenda. His counterparts from Lagos, Ondo, and Ekiti states were therefore on hand to show solidarity. First to be inaugurated was the Ogun State Television Digital Studio Complex, provided to not only complement the existing station with state-of-the-art facilities, but also make broadcasting service in the state one of the best in the country. And it was a remarkable demonstration of support and appreciation at the Itoko area of Abeokuta as President Muhammadu Buhari came calling to inaugurate the 215 shops at Dire Mall. It is an architectural masterpiece that reflects the structure, sculpture, pattern, and playfulness often seen in the numerous traditional textile designs. The Adire or Kampala market, as the place is known, is visited by textile traders from within and without Nigeria. The amphitheater and park, strategically located in the heart of Abeokuta, meant to serve a strong community focal point of convergence for public events, was also inaugurated by the president. So also the first phase of the 250-bed ultra-modern tertiary hospital provided as part of the key mandate of the state's health agenda, focusing on accessibility, affordability, effectiveness, efficiency, and quality care. It is aimed at putting an end to medical tourism abroad. Ogun State Judiciary Complex is perhaps the most significant of Governor Amusun's legacy projects being put to use, as the president himself laid the foundation stone for the edifice in 2016. Aimed at enhancing justice delivery in the state, the fully furnished and well-equipped complex comprised, amongst others, 15 courtrooms and offices for judges and principal officers of the state judiciary. Summing up his impression, President Muhammadu Buhari commended the outgoing governor of Ogun State, Ibikunle Amusun, for walking the talk as regards his mission to rebuild Ogun State for posterity.
I congratulate him for having the foresight and saving enough resources to make sure he has put infrastructure that will last. You have done very well for yourself and for Ogun State. I am very pleased that I have been in his good books, at least publicly. So in the Senate, I will automatically assume that he will support me. Thank you very much.
Governor Ibikunle Amusun and Senator-elect attributed the remarkable achievements by his administration to the unprecedented support and assistance by President Muhammadu Buhari.
Even at the twilight of the tenure of the administration, we continue to ensure that life becomes more comfortable and abundant for our people through infrastructural development. This is not just playing to the gallery or just speaking to the camera. President Muhammadu Buhari has done very well, not just for us in the state, but for all of us.
President Muhammadu Buhari has since returned to Abuja. Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, residents of Abeokuta have commended the provision of social infrastructure by the outgoing Governor Ibikunle Amosu. Idarazit Adereku reports that this was at the inauguration of landmark projects in the state by President Muhammadu Buhari.
It was an epoch-making event as President Muhammadu Buhari arrived at Itoku Adire Shopping Mall for the inauguration of the project. His arrival was heralded by excitement. The atmosphere became aesthetic as residents and traders alike in their numbers made attempts to catch a glimpse of President Muhammadu Buhari and his entourage to the project inauguration. Ogun State and indeed Abeokuta is known for the tie and dye, otherwise known as Adire, a local Nigerian fabric.
As you can see, the people also are engaged, and that is the key thing, and that is where the economy is going to boom, because we have also an increase in the stock of hotels that we have, so that people, whenever they come, have a place in which to stay.
Yeah, it has been a very laudable achievement, because those are the basic infrastructure that we need to make this country a giant of all the Africa, the giant we used to be.
In fact, we don't even know that Itoku, Kenta can become this great place.
Following the Supreme Court judgment on the Zamfara state elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has declared all the PDP candidates for the elections as winners. INEC National Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu made the declaration in Abuja. Mayor Ogidi reports.
Zamfara state again, this time not for banditry, but a political earthquake. What started as a family matter snowballed into a legal journey of no return, as the Senator Kabiru Marafa-led 140 members faction of the APC challenged the party primaries that Governor Abdulaziz Yari faction allegedly conducted. A legal contest that started on the 25th of January 2019 at the Zamfara State High Court, passed through 2 federal high courts, and 2 days to the election ended at the Court of Appeal, as Justice Abdul Aboki ruled that the Senator Marafa faction of the APC brought the case outside the 14 days provided under the 4th alteration to the Constitution on pre-election matters. So, APC candidates in Zamfara State were directed to participate. INEC obeyed this judgment.
So the APC candidates for the National Assembly elections will be on the ballot in Zamfara State.
With this admission, the APC candidates participated and won all the 36 offices. This was the outing of the APC at the governorship elections, sweeping all the 14 local government areas with 534,541 out of the 810,782 votes cast, leaving 189,452 to the next on the line, that is PDP. But Friday, 24th of May 2019, put an end to this 3 months old smile as the Supreme Court declared all the votes in the APC void. But the question before many political heavyweights and sound legal minds is, can PDP garner the needed political spread in the 14 local government areas to secure the key to the Zamfara State Government House? This question compelled the top rank of INEC to a 2-day emergency meeting, and this is the position of the Commission.
This means that we had to first discount the votes cast for the APC at the elections and then carefully rework the spread by local government areas based on the new valid votes. In compliance with the Supreme Court judgment, the Commission has now determined the winners of the elections in Zamfara State as follows. Governorship. Governor Bello Mohammed Matawalle, PDP. Deputy Governor Mahdi Aliou Gusau, PDP.
So, the political power is now shifted from the 36 APC members as to PDP, who are the runner-ups, and the certificates of return will be issued on the 27th and 31st of May 2019, respectively. Politics is indeed dynamic and not static. Mayor Ogidi, NTA News.
Thank you, Mayor. The South African government celebrates the 56th anniversary of the founding of the Organization of African Unity with the swearing-in of Cyril Ramaphosa as president. Several African leaders attended the ceremony, including Nigeria's Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. State House correspondent Chide Onifade reports.
The day marks South Africa's 6th democratic presidential inauguration, and the man of the moment, President Cyril Ramaphosa, takes the oath of office, promising the people of good governance.
I swear that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa.
His country, he says, will remain committed to the African Union Agenda 2063.
Africa is poised once again to rise, to assume its place among the free and equal nations of the world. We must use this innovative talent that originated in Africa to embrace and use the 4th Industrial Revolution to develop Africa, to create jobs for the youth and empower the women of our continent.
For Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, who represented President Muhammadu Buhari, democracy is here to stay on the continent of Africa.
All of us in the African Union are committed to the 2063 agenda. All of us are committed to it. A lot of it has to do with human capital development. And we're all, focused on human capital development. That remains a major challenge for Africa today. Education, healthcare, jobs for a growing number of young people. So for us, also for Nigeria also, that remains a major challenge. So the 2063 agenda is just another way of saying that we need to resolve many of our human capital development issues. Of course, there are climate change issues as well, environment, etc. But I think the central focus is human capital development.
The Vice President was accompanied to the event by Minister of Foreign Affairs Geoffrey Onyema, Nigeria Ambassador to South Africa Kabir Bala, Special Advisor to the President on Economic Matters Adeyemi Dikpeolu, and other top government officials. A lot of hope is placed on the shoulders of African leaders as the people expect to see positive changes from what obtains now. In Pretoria, South Africa, Jude Onifade, NT News.
Members of the business community and leadership of the governing All Progressives Congress were hosted to the breaking of the Ramadan fast by President Muhammadu Buhari. During the event, President Buhari made a strong case for well-to-do individuals in the country to develop more confidence in Nigeria under his watch by massively investing in critical sectors towards enhancing job, wealth creation and the economy. State House correspondent Adam Sambo again reports.
Without doubt, business and political leaders are not only important stakeholders, but indeed indispensable to the growth and development of any economy. Their convergence here at the breaking of the Ramadan fast provided the opportunity for President Muhammadu Buhari to make a strong case for synergy towards achieving greater investment in Nigeria's economy.
Those who have money to invest or ideas to invest, to please develop the confidence that we are going to do our best to support you. We have been brainwashed that we have plenty of oil money and things are being dumped on us. We are going to resist that, and we can only do it with your cooperation by you establishing factories, employing people, and getting them to learn to produce.
The governing APC assured them will not only sustain efforts at fighting corruption, insecurity, and smuggling activities, but also create a more conducive environment for Nigeria's business and industrial concerns to thrive.
I have a lot of confidence in this country. We have a lot of capacity, but we have been resting for too long. Please, you are very, very influential. I think that's why you are here. And I assure you that I will keep alert, help you where I can to cut short to the bureaucracy so that we can encourage you, the entrepreneurs, for manufacturing, so that we can employ people and people will regain confidence in themselves.
The president also promised to work more closely with the CBN governor towards ensuring that the country's foreign reserve continues to grow so that Nigeria maintains a pride of place amongst the Committee of Nations. He also gives reasons for his decision to delay Nigeria's ratification of the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement.
Anything that will support our young industries by using other countries, whether within our region, ECOWAS, or the whole of Africa, to dump their goods and then under that agreement to bring it here, I personally resisted it.
The chairman of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, who spoke for the captains of industry, promised to support efforts at making Nigeria work in the best interest of all.
We want to assure you we'll continue to support your government in these sectors to make sure not only that we take Nigeria back to 6 to 7% GDP growth, but to be the strongest leader in the continent and also to be the voice of the continent. We are also having a chat among us in the business community to see how can we help in terms of security, especially with the security challenges. We'll come back to you, Your Excellency, Mr. President, with billions of naira in terms of our own contribution. But on top of that, Mr. President, we want to assure you we'll continue to invest in Nigeria, especially in agriculture.
Dangote is showing that if anything can be done anywhere, it can be done even better in Nigeria. Now, as APC chairman, I'm very grateful for the confidence you've reposed in the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, because the way the business people repose confidence is through their investment pattern, and that you have demonstrated across various sectors.
President Buhari's breaking of the Ramadan fast with a broad spectrum of the Nigerian society continues. From the State House, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
From Lagos, the two Oguyemi reports that as deadline given to owners of trucks and containers to vacate access roads leading to their Papa ports expired at noon Saturday, trucks and containers were still stationed on the roads. Traffic movement teams are experiencing difficulty in controlling the huge number of these trucks waiting to be moved.
the deadline given by the presidential directive, trucks and containers are still visible on major access roads leading to the ports. Apapa Ushodi Expressway, down to Mile 2 and Tinkan Island, Orile, Costain, Ijora and Wharf roads were some of the places visited. Although the trucks are moving, it is quite slow as traffic management officials seem overwhelmed. Isiaka Lawal is a truck manager, and like many others, he says issues around call-ups and need for more trailer parks need to be addressed.
Because even this call-up issue, there are people who are not loading in the work, they load in flour mill, in some companies, in some like Cherry Indomie. You don't expect those people to do call-up. And when they get to that company, they will definitely open the gate and allow them to go. That is what I want us to consider.
He also spoke about an early morning protest by truck drivers blocking the entire road before they were later appeased by police authorities.
Yesterday night, this place was messed up. It's totally messed up. So you that was on the line for 3-4 days, a man who comes from the side and you remove you, that thing is among the things that make drivers got angry.
However, the presidential task force has said towing and impounding of any trucks left by Sunday 26th will begin as the directive must be implemented to the letter. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
Celebrating the children and giving them a feel of hospitality is what a leading supplier of beverages, Promisado Nigeria Limited, has done in Lagos to put them in the mood for this year's Children's Day celebration. Annie Daniels has the report.
It is called One Love Family Fest, and this mini-marathon race, codenamed Fun Run by selected pupils of schools across Lagos, is part of it.
The race was kind of stressful, but it was fun. It was my first time. I shall make it. I came 6th.
Because I was tired. I could not finish the race.
The event was characterized by various activities happening simultaneously in this park. Saying that these children are having real fun will be stating the obvious. Virtually every child availed himself the opportunity to win several mouth-watering prizes by engaging in games and competitions.
So right now, Stout Cowbell, Top Tea and Loyal Milk, the sponsors, thank you very much.
These and more are courtesy Promisado Nigeria Limited, makers of milk tea, cowbell, Loyal Milk, Top Tea, Onga seasoning and some Vita cereal.
DNA of the brand is about what we fortify the brand, which is about Vita Rich plus iron. And if you go to Onga, you see loads of food to eat. So it's going to be an annual event just to celebrate the family, just to show that we value them, we care about them, and want to give something back to the society.
The company spared no cost at ensuring that every child present at this event had enough to eat, drink, and take away. More prizes were afterwards presented to those whose performances were outstanding at the mini-marathon race. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Free medical services aimed at alleviating minor health worries among internally displaced persons have been organized by the Nigerian Navy as part of activities marking its 63rd anniversary. Correspondent Najatu Tijani reports from Kuchigoro Camp in Abuja, venue of the outreach.
It's a steady source of income provided by a regular job. The internally displaced persons in this camp at Kuchigoro are ordinarily unable to afford medical services. Recognizing this, the Nigerian Navy, supported by the Nigerian Navy Officers' Wives Association, NOAA, says beyond medical services, it wants to show the Nigerian people the face of compassion in the line of duty.
Events like this brings us closer to select communities and stimulate the interest and aspiration of young ones for a career in the armed forces of Nigeria and the Nigerian Navy in particular.
We have sisters there, we have brothers there, those children can even be our children. So all we will say is be strong.
31-year-old Hafsat, mother of 5, understands this impact. Too weak to go anywhere Her 10-year-old daughter Hassana is being saved the trouble of seeking costly medical treatment elsewhere. Likewise, 34-year-old Samaila Ali, as well as the children who are excited to receive medication for worms. With songs of joy, the Kuchigoro community expressed gratitude to the Navy and NOAA who have wiped away their tears. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has extolled the virtues of Nigeria's former Federal Commissioner of Information, Chief Edwin Clark, on the occasion of his 92nd birthday anniversary. A statement by the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu, says President Buhari acknowledges the elder statesman as a patriot who is committed to peace during trying times in the country. The President described the octogenarian as a man of strong convictions. The President described the octogenarian as a man of strong convictions who doesn't hesitate to speak his mind on national issues, one of the outstanding virtues of a statesman. The President enjoined the celebrant to be proud of his legacy, as the country would always look up to him to tap from his fountain of wisdom. The attention of the national body of Omo Ibomina has been drawn to a statement credited to one Chief Ayeni and Mr. Jide Usman at a press conference conducted on the 22nd of May 2019. A statement from the Publicity Department of the Union says their socio-cultural body, led by Timothy Ni Adebayo, would have led this matter to fizzle out naturally, but it is a dialectic of party politics affecting the entire Kwara South. A statement described insinuations that the minister is not home-based and doesn't relate with the home-based politicians and allegations of mismanagement of election fund and materials as calculated mischief and blackmail, and therefore unacceptable to Ibomina people home and abroad. On this note, the sociocultural body of Omo Ibomina irrevocably resolved and recommend Alhaji Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information and Culture, for a reappointment by President Muhammadu Buhari, as they have implicit confidence in his ability to do better. Now, the aviation industry is a major contributor to global economic prosperity and provides rapid worldwide transportation network. Today, we are concerned with Nigeria's aviation sector and its developmental trajectory as part of global aviation network. Up ahead is correspondence report coming momentarily.
The clock is ticking. It's the signal for the inauguration of the 16th President of Nigeria and 5th President in the 4th Nigerian Republic.
Nigerians are set to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The first term saw the most massive critical infrastructural development, agricultural revolution, war against corruption, tackling insecurity, and unprecedented social investment programs. Our opportunity to keep moving our country on the path to a prosperous future. It's the next level for the Nigerian people. This is our time as Nigerians. Come, let us celebrate the next level with Muhammadu Buhari, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Date, Wednesday, 29th May 2019. Venue, Eagle Square, Abuja. Time, 8 a.m. prompt. Roll out the drums. Come, let's celebrate.
Announcer Boss Gida Mustafa, Secretary to Government of the Federation and Chairman 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
to me as a common market woman because I'm a petty trader. They don't know that every day I wake up, I have plans for expansion and growth. They believe that even in 5 years, I'll still be in the market doing the same thing.
Sometimes people don't see you for what you're really worth.
As for me, I'm more than just a common market woman.
At Access Bank, we see you not for who you are today, but for who you will be tomorrow.
Baba, we say welcome back. Baba Buhari, we don't see the things where you do. Improving lives of people for the past 4 years. You sign minimum wage, oh, not too young to run, oh. Baba Buhari, you're welcome back. Not say welcome back. We say welcome. Southwest say welcome. Baba, we say welcome. Men they say welcome. Women they say welcome. Youth they say welcome. Baba, we say welcome back. See second Niger bridge. Empower and trade the money. Social investment. Train it on the work. Pensioners done the job. Buhari continue all the good work where you start. Not them say welcome back. We say welcome. Southwest say welcome. Baba, we say welcome back.
This message is powered by Good Governance Ambassadors of Nigeria. Go again.
It's Ramadan. It's okay to share what you love. Ramadan Kareem from Indomie. Indomie Super Pack now available at 85 Naira.
The 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee invites the general public to the interdenominational church service to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, scheduled to hold as follows. Dates: Sunday 26 May 2019. Venue: National Christian Center, Central Business District, Abuja. Time: 2:30 p.m. prompt. Theme: setting the nation on higher levels of peace and development in the fear of God. Habakkuk 3:19. Speaker: Archbishop Augustine Akubeze, President, Catholic Bishops Conference. Special guest of honor: His Excellency Professor Yemi Osinbajo, Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
Announcer: Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
Munch it, what a tasty, crunchy feeling. Munch it, gotta munch it every day. Munch it, just give me the super snack. Munch it, oh irresistible. Munch it, makes me wanna say one munch, two munch, don't stop munch. Munch it is here, irresistible. One munch, two munch, don't stop munch.
Try a pack of Munch It snack at 50 Naira.
The Subcommittee on First Ladies' Activities for Presidential Inauguration hereby announces the programs for May 29, 2019 Presidential Inauguration. Interactive session of women with the First Lady. Date: Saturday 25th May 2019. Venue: State House, Abuja. Time: 2 p.m. prompt. Children's Day Party. Date: 27th May 2019. Venue: State House, Abuja. Time: 1 p.m. prompt. Admission to these events is strictly by invitation.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
Hajia Maria A.D. Rufai, Secretary, Committee on First Ladies' Activities for Presidential Inauguration 2019. Announcer.
You're welcome back. Now, in Lagos, transformation on the Murtala Mohammed International Airport has jacked up performance of the aviation industry. Michael Lalaye reports that the sector's contribution to the GDP grew by 0.6% and passengers traffic took over 18 million.
Availability of reliable air connection for continuous movement of people and services was a serious task for the Buhari-led administration on assumption of office. Little wonder, remodeling and expansion of airports across the country was given priority. The Murtala Muhammed International Airport in Lagos was the first beneficiary because the airport, initially designed for 200,000 passengers when it was constructed in 1978, now plays host to over 8 million passengers. To cater for this volume of passengers, the present administration began the construction of a new terminal with multi-story car park through public-private partnership, which is due for inauguration soon.
A number of our airports are daylight airports. By 6 p.m. they shut down. We need to enable facilities that will allow for 24 hours flights.
On airport development, facilities have been upgraded, Fan Training School certified as a CAO Global Security Training Center. Various security screening points have been streamlined into a single interface to enhance seamless travel, while safety of passengers now guaranteed with installation of air navigational and landing equipment at the airport.
There is a growth prospect, and the stability that we need for that growth is just what this administration has achieved.
In the area of policy direction, investor-friendly programs have been introduced to make air travel seamless.
The whole PEBEC initiative is to make things simpler, systemically simpler for everybody to be able to do business easily here.
In order to ease facilitation for members of the public, we automated payments for whatever you need to do at the airport.
Immigration authorities was very prompt. It was processed within 1 week, which I think is very impressive.
All of the positives, all of the numbers that will make a robust airline exist in Nigeria. One, of course, the GDP of Nigeria, bigger than all that we know now in continental Africa, some $450 billion officially. Now we hear from the U.S. Department of Agri that the GDP in Nigeria is about $900 billion, which is about $1 trillion. And you know, airline growth is directly related to your GDP.
In spite of the achievements recorded, the federal government is exploring avenues to create the best traveling experience for air travelers, as well as making the Lagos International Airport an aviation hub in the world. In Lagos, Michael Olale, NT News.
Thank you, Michael. And we have more reports on the situation on ground at the different airports in Nigeria. But we'll be bringing you that in subsequent bulletins. For now, this is Weekend File on the network service of the NTA. Let's take a break right now. When we return, we'll go into the conversation segment of the program.
Where people meet from Niger to yonder, got you talking. You are the one that's falling to keep you talking. Yeah! We got people talking. We've got people talking. Dressing from east to the west to the south. Everywhere they cover, they know the mouth.
With 5 times bonus to call all networks on every recharge, we get you talking.
Keep talking.
Glow Unlimited.
This is to inform invited guests that parking arrangements for vehicles have been made for the presidential inauguration ceremony scheduled to hold on Wednesday, 29th May 2019 at the Eagle Square. This is to ensure smooth and seamless movement during the occasion. The Eagle Square car park has been reserved for some special guests only. All other guests are expected to park their vehicles at the following designated parking and picking points: Millennium Towers Car Park, Central Business District, Old Parade Ground, Area 10, Garki, Abuja, Supreme Court Car Park. Shuttle buses will convey guests to the Eagle Square for the inauguration event and return them to various parking and picking points.
This event is part of activities lined up for the Presidential Inauguration and Democracy Day Celebration 2019.
Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation and Chairman 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee, announcer.
From our wonderful family, meet our active triplets. Mixology, for example, mixes well with drinks. Then enjoy every quick meal with Slurp It Off. And everywhere you go, there is Go-Gurt. Packed with healthy nutrition, nourishing vitamins, power of protein, strength of calcium, revitalizing energy, Hollandia yogurt is bursting with goodness inside and out. Hollandia yogurt, it's all good. Hollandia.
It's Ramadan. It's okay to share what you love. Ramadan Kareem from Indomie. Indomie Super Pack now available at 85 Naira.
All right, we're glad to have you back. And at this moment, I have the Minister of State Aviation, Senator Hadi Sherika, as my guest tonight. Honorable Minister, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much indeed.
All right. A year ago or thereabout, one of the most widely traveled aviation correspondents known globally, passed a comment on Nigeria's aviation industry with respect to the airports that we have. And when that comment was made, well, Nigeria reacted to that because actually he gave no mark, to the state of affairs at the Nigerian airports. But we know that the current administration is making some efforts to turn the situation around. Let us know some of the impact now being made by government intervention in the sector.
Well, I think I would like to start by saying the focus of the administration of Muhammadu Buhari on civil aviation transportation. And it is just to target all of those safety and security critical items that make air transportation safe and secure. Of course, you agree with me, post 9/11 has become, the aviation industry has become very different from what it was. Security has taken center stage, while safety also is the fulcrum or is at the center stage as well, not degrading security. However, perhaps I may add that quite a number of things have been done in terms of passenger facilitation and improvements in airports. Some of the airports, let's take Lagos, for example. Lagos was built perhaps in late 70s, early 80s. It was built to cater for 200,000 people. Today it is doing 8 million, over 8 million. It's just like a family of 2 or 3, a husband, wife, and a son, with or a daughter, with a 2-bedroom house. And they grew in the house. He married 3 other wives to make them 4. He gave birth to 13, 14 children. He has his aunties and cousins and everybody. And in that same 2-bedroom, 1 toilet, 1 kitchen. I mean, that's the story of Murtala Muhammad Airport. 200,000 people they were meant to cater for. Now it's catering for 8 million. There ought to be chaos there. The facility, got so degraded, so dilapidated, and you're doing repairs every now and then. But this government came in and we met that the previous administration has started to construct some terminal buildings in Port Harcourt, Lagos, and Abuja and Kano. It was at below 30%, but we took it up to 100% completion in Abuja, and it's commissioned, so also in Port Harcourt. And we commissioned Lagos and Kano. And then with the commission of Lagos, we intend to move the passengers to the new terminal and then perhaps tear down the existing structure and put it back up into a good shape. Currently, we've been talking to a certain contractor, and we would provide money for him to rehabilitate Lagos. So the focus is in safety, and most of these safety critical items are things that you don't see that this government has been doing. Passengers do not see them because the major concern is how well and safely you depart point A and land point B. It's more important than any other thing. But we did quite a lot in that regard. I think the government had installed a lot of equipment within the sector, instrument landing systems, for example, all over the place, weather systems all over the place, and other equipment that help us to carry out a safe operation and then secure also the traveling public. So there are a lot of, I can remember even in weather, for example, we installed in about 10 airports the low-level wind shear equipment, and that wind shear, I remember, it says is the cause of the socialistic crash. Wind shear, by the way, is the shearing, literally, or tearing of air and changing the direction of air, you know, and with such swiftness very quickly, you know, it changes direction and then the speed also. So that's wind shear, and it causes a lot of accidents. But this government came and took all those safety critical issues, you know, and began to place them. We spent quite a lot of time to plan all of this.
All right, I'm done with safety now. What about safety of luggage? We recall what happened to the young student, you know, who went for lesser Hajj in Saudi Arabia. What about safety of luggage?
Yes, now we've improved upon that. We used it positively. We use it as a learning curve. We use it to understand the dynamics around those miscreants that are playing with passengers' luggage and then putting one thing or another. So we've installed some equipment there, and we have designed a program where all hands will be put on deck. You know, airports is like every agency is there, the SSS is there, the police is there, the civil defense is there, NDLA is there, aviation security is there, everybody is there. So we designed a program and a system and put in place in our airports now to ensure that you know, passenger luggages are not tampered with, and this thing will not happen again. And that's the positive side. But on the negative side, we regret that it happened in an airport. And these things do happen in many airports around the world, and I don't think it should happen in our airports because Nigeria, of course, for its importance, for its geography, for what it offers, you know, we intend to take the sector to the highest level, and I think we have done a lot in that regard. But like I said, we have put things in place now to look after that.
All right. Now, concessioning of some airports is one of the focal points of this administration. How has it gone?
Well, yes, because you see, this government is a social democratic government in place, and we don't intend to sell public assets because we've seen that other people have done it in the past and it failed. So what we want to do is to concession these airports and then take them back after a certain number of years. Investors will come and invest their money and improve upon those facilities, maintain them, manage them, and then bring them back for renegotiation in the future. It has gone very far. We have established a transaction advisory services, transaction advisors who have developed business cases for these airports, and we're soon going to go and public with a public tender. Part of the program or roadmap, there are quite a number of things. There is the national carrier, there is the concession of the airport, there is the MRO, which means maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility. There is the aviation leasing company to source cheap funds for aviation businesses in Nigeria. All of these we have appointed transaction advisors, and they have returned the outline business cases. In the case of, for example, the aviation leasing company and the MRO, the tender just closed, transparently done. It just closed a couple of days ago, and they will open it, and whoever is the winner will be given the opportunity to come and establish a maintenance, repair, and overhaul. Aviation is such that everything must be working in the same, at the same time and in unison. You have to have a maintenance base for you to be able to serve your airlines. You have to have a robust airline to be able to serve those maintenance centers. You have to have a leasing company that will allow you access cheap funds for you to engage in aviation activity. You know, so they are all intertwined, all of these things in aviation. And I believe that we're getting there in terms of the concession that you ask. Specifically, we're about to get the outline business case to come. They have given us the prelim report. We looked at it. We are trying to tweak it here and there, and then put it back. And all of these, there is thanks to ICRC, which is the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission. They have opened a web portal where all these things are uploaded transparently. And we also in the ministry have a website, and you can also, due to freedom of information, you can also ask us, you know, over the things that we're doing, and And all of these things are being done very transparently, and then they would be achieved in sooner than you expect.
Well, now, tell us about the National Air Carrier Project, which couldn't hold last year. Perhaps you're still focusing on that.
Yeah. The National Carrier is on course. Like I said, it was debated in Council. The Council approved it, and then Mr. President has directed us what to do, and we're in the process of doing that. So very soon the National Carrier, would begin flying. Now, let me say something a bit about this National Carrier. You see, the aviation business is directly related to the GDP of the country, and the population, and the market, and the geography. Nigeria, we are lucky, and is given by God, we thank him, is at the center of Africa, equidistant from all locations. So it's a good candidate for aviation business. If you look at the Central America to Central Europe, to Central Asia, all the way, that's where the aviation activity it's going because of geography, connectivity, etc. So, etc. Not to the poles, either to the south or to the north. And Nigeria has a good geography. That's one. Two, it has a population, 200 million people, more than Northern Africa, all of it put together. I mean, it's the only country in Africa, if you ask me. And I used to say that if the West and Central African belt is put together, I mean, you look at West Africa and Central Africa, 600 million people. That is twice the population of US. That is equal to the continental Europe. And if that belt is the belt that holds Africa, then Nigeria must be the buckle. And also, I probably have to say here that all of the issues, the GDP in Nigeria, $450 billion is huge. Is the biggest GDP in Africa. It supports aviation business. And so all of these support establishment of national carrier. And that absence of national carrier, that's why tickets are very costly, for example, out of Nigeria. From Abuja to London is shorter than Accra to London, but you're paying more from Abuja to London because you have no alternative. And they're making a kill, all of these airlines. You can take example of Emirates. They're coming 3 times a day in Nigeria. The British people are coming 3 times a day, and there is no response from us. So they dictate the market, and then there's nothing we can do. We have to pay. But if we get our own, which will be private sector led and driven, then we will create that activity around our country. How
soon will this happen?
Very soon. Very soon. I agree with you. Very soon. Very, very soon.
No, all right. Just last week, there is a pronouncement that Enugu International Airport could be closed down if certain measures are not taken. What is the situation at the moment?
Well, yes, I made that statement in Lagos because at some point I kept going to Enugu. I went there 4 times, by the way, as a minister, and they had challenges. At the beginning of the runway, threshold of the runway, there was a market. And that market has an abattoir, and they sell grains and so on and so forth. It attracts birds to the airport, and then the birds get injected into aircraft engines, and that can cause a disaster. And we needed the market to be removed. One, and then we need to extend the runway. It's a very short runway in Enugu. We need to extend it. By the way, Enugu is what is Kaduna to the north, yes, or what Ibadan is to the southwest. So we cannot degrade Enugu. And then also there was a free zone at the other end of the runway. There's also radio masts. There are people who are built within the airport, which is disallowing us to expand the runway and reconstruct it. But thanks to the state government, finally they have removed the market, they have removed the masts, and they are on their way now to removing the free zone that is there at the end of the runway. And then finally, they need to also remove those people that built houses within the airport premises, because we need to secure the airport, and we need to keep it safe for operations. And then we move in there and then do the needful on the runway. Already they have a new terminal building, which is being concluded soon, as big as that of Port Harcourt. So it's only for us to do the runway and do the associated lightings and then the landing system and so on. But we can't extend it until we get all this done. And finally, there is a river there, also at the threshold of the runway, that we need to get approval also from government to divert the river, and perhaps even dam it and use it for the airport and for public use as well.
Now, tariffs for domestic route is said to be on the high side. Why is that so?
It is so for many reasons. You know, aviation business is, it has a lot of factors that contributes to pricing of tickets. One, there is no competition, you know, and that is what the national carrier will address. I give you an example. If I am operating an airplane that is new out of the market these days, is more efficient, it burns less fuel. Fuel is about 25% of the cost of operation of airline. An airline business, you know, is about 5% profit margin. If you have 25% of your operations being fuel, and you have airplanes that guzzle fuel, you know, then of course, because they are old, also they go for maintenance, and these maintenance are expensive, and they come either by calendar or they come by usage. Sometimes the operations of the domestic airlines, you know, currently are not in such a way that they will be efficient as to drive prices down. That is one. Competition. There's no competition because most of them, some will be operating 3 airplanes and 4 airplanes, except for currently we have Air Peace, for example. We have marginally Arik and perhaps Max Air and Asman. But all of them put together, for me, they are running inefficiently, and they're struggling to make it. And in that struggling to make it, there's no way they can make a profit margin that will sustain it. So prices are bound to rise in that circumstance.
All right, Honourable Minister, very briefly, your final thoughts.
Well, I think that aviation is going to grow. The sector is still very virgin. It's going to grow in folds in Nigeria. Many people are interested in coming to Nigeria. We have been having requests for extra frequencies from Qatar Airways, from Ethiopian Airlines, from even from British Airways. All of these airlines that are coming to Nigeria are requesting us to give them more and more frequency because the market exists. The market is there. And since the market is there, all we need is investments. And we're going there, we've marketed these things around the world, and once the national carrier is in place, it will help to address that. But more importantly, my thoughts is to continue to keep Nigerian aviation sector secure, safe, efficient, and prosperous. And that prosperity, our job as government is to lay down the enabling environment for these entrepreneurs to do very well. And certainly we have been doing so. Before I close, I'll let you know that the government, for example, has a policy. If you import airplane today or parts, you pay 0 duty. That is an encouragement.
All right, sir.
Outside of government.
All right, Honourable Minister of State Aviation, would like to thank you for sharing your time and your thoughts on this issue tonight. It's been a pleasure talking to you on Weekend File.
But the time is so short, sir. But thank you very much. It's a pleasure anyway.
We'll invite you on another platform.
Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you. That's Senator Sirika, is of course Minister of State Aviation. This is Weekend File. We'll take a short break now.
Follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook at NTA Network News, Instagram at NTA Network, Twitter at NTA News Now, YouTube at NTA News Online, or visit www.nta.ng. For live streaming, visit www.nta.ng/live. Now, you can stay updated on the go, be it on your TV, iPhone, laptop, or iPad, or download the NTA mobile application from your Play Store or App Store. NTA, you can beat the rich.
And that's where we concluded tonight's edition of Weekend File. I'd like to thank you for watching. Join us again next Saturday for another edition of the program. Good night.
This is the network service of the NTA.
The clock is ticking. It's the signal for the inauguration of the 16th President of Nigeria and 5th President in the 4th Nigerian Republic.
Nigerians are set to mark the beginning of the second term of Muhammadu Buhari as President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The first term saw the most massive critical infrastructural development, agricultural revolution, war against corruption, tackling insecurity, and unprecedented social investment programs. Our opportunity to keep moving our country on the path to a prosperous future. It's the next level for the Nigerian people. This is our time as Nigerians. Come, let us celebrate the next level with Muhammadu Buhari, President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Date, Wednesday, 29th May 2019. Venue, Eagle Square, Abuja. Time, 8 a.m. prompt. Roll out the drums. Come, let's celebrate.
Announcer Boss Gida Mustafa, Secretary to Government of the Federation and Chairman 2019 Presidential Inauguration Committee.
Over the last 4 years, we have laid the foundation for a strong, stable, and prosperous country for our people, initiating and completing key infrastructure projects that will connect millions of Nigerians to opportunities by rail, road, and air. From the Abuja-Kaduna Rail, the Abuja-Itakpe-Ajaokuta Warri tracks, the about to be commissioned Lagos-Abeokuta-Ibadan portion of the Lagos-Kano Rail, the Ilorin-Jeba-Mokwa Road, the brand new Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport Abuja, the Port Harcourt International Airport, and many others. We are constructing a future where people and goods move seamlessly. But there's much more to build and expect at the next level. Over the next 4 years, finishing the second Niger Bridge, the Abuja-Kaduna-Kano Road, the East-West Road traversing the Niger Delta, the Lagos-Kano Rail will be priorities, just as laying the tracks for the Coastal Rail from Lagos to Calabar and the Eastern Rail from Port Harcourt, linking all the capital cities of the Southeast with the North Central and the Northeast, all the way to Maiduguri. In addition, delivering broadband infrastructure across our country is a key infrastructure priority to facilitate education, healthcare, and other socio-economic services. Building up is always much tougher work than pulling down. Taking Nigeria to the next level of all our dreams requires coming together, pulling our energies together, and laying the brick one layer at a time to build our great future. Let's build bridges. Let's plant tolerance, peace, and unity. Let's all go higher to the place of prosperity, security, and stability. Welcome to the next level.
NTA Television College Jos announces admissions into 2-year diploma programs in film and television production, television engineering, and broadcast journalism. The sale of forms will commence on the 13th of May and roll.
To obey Allah in the governance, to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as they strive in putting this nation together to work in the right direction The khutbah reminds our leaders, especially the Muslims, to take advantage of the elements of Islam that is in our democracy. The element of consultation. Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Holy Quran has enjoined believers and leaders to through consultation lead the people. And by so doing, the nation will be positioned towards